In this video, we're going to take a look at Jerry Garcia's guitar solo on Tangled Up In Blue from 7:30:77. Alright, this solo is really cooking, and it's a great solo because the phrasing on it is just so strong. Jerry kind of employs this call and response style phrasing throughout the solo. But before we take a look at that, let's take a look at the chord progression. Alright, here's the chord progression for Tangled Up In Blue. Alright, so the song begins with this vamp that's A to A sus. So we're playing an A chord, and as Jerry usually fingered it, we have the thumb playing the 6th string. And the reason why we're not going to include the 5th string 7th fret is because we're going to use our pinky to put down on the 7th fret of the 3rd string to get that A sus. So we have A to A sus 4. And that same vamp is used in between the verses. Alright, so during the verse we have A to G 3 times. And then a D chord. And sometimes Jerry played it like this, sometimes he played it like this, and then we repeat all that. Then we have E to F sharp minor. These are all half a bar each. A to D, E, F sharp minor, A, D, and then E for a full bar. Then we have a bar of 2/4 where we play G, D, and then we're back into 4/4 with our A to A sus 4. Alright, so as I already mentioned, Jerry kind of employs this call and response style phrasing. So he plays a phrase and then he answers it. So let's take a look at the first phrase, and it's this right here. Alright, so most of this is based out of the A major pentatonic scale. And then we have the arpeggios of the chord as well. So if we take a look at the A major pentatonic scale, right here on the 7th fret of the 4th string, we have the root, then we have the 9th fret, then we have the 11th fret on the 4th string. So root, 2nd, 3rd, and then on the 3rd string, 9 to 11, that's the 5th and the 6th. And then on the 2nd string, we have 10, 12, and that's the root 2nd. Then we can go up here to the 14th fret. That's the 3rd. It's also the 9th fret on the 1st string. Then we have the 12th fret on the 1st string. Alright, then if we look at our chord shapes, we have this A triad. Then we move that down a whole step and we have G. So the 11th fret of the 4th, 9th fret of the 3rd, 10th fret of the 2nd. And if we were to extend that out, from our C cade shape, we have 9th fret on the 6th, 12th fret on the 6th, 12th fret on the 5th, 11th fret on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd, 10 on the 2nd, then 9, 12 on the 1st. Then we move that down a whole step and we have our G. And then if we look at these little fragments, we see A and G. So since we're playing over A to G, it makes sense that he's visualizing those and playing out of those shapes. So that with the A major pentatonic scale is what he's working out of. So we're going to start with that first phrase. So we have the 7th fret of the 4th string up to the 11th fret. Repeat that note. Then 9 on the 3rd, 11 on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd. Then we're going to pull off 11 to 9 on the 3rd, 11 on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd, then slide from 11 to 9 on the 4th. And that's kind of our call, and then we have this answer that sounds like this. And that's going to be pull off from 9 to 7 on the 4th string, 9 on the 5th, 7 on the 4th. Then we slide from 9 to 11 on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd, 11 on the 4th. Then we're going to slide from 9 on the 3rd down to 7 on the 3rd. And that's our D. And it's not from the A major pentatonic scale, but it's out of this G triad. And that's our 5th of the G, so it gives us our G chord sound in there. Because when Jerry plays without any accompaniment at all, you can hear the chords go by. And then we're going to slide from 9 to 11 on the 4th, and then we have this next phrase that sounds like this. So we slide up from the 9 fret to the 11th on the 4th, we play the 9 on the 3rd, 11th on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd, 10 on the 2nd. So that's just our A triad. Then we're going to pull off from 11 to 9 on the 3rd, 11 on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd, 11 on the 4th. Then we have the open A string twice. Then we're going to play the C natural. So that's the 10th fret of the 4th string down to the 9th fret, then the 7th fret of the 4th, 9 on the 5th. So you can see that as being, the natural 11th on the 4th, or maybe a better way to look at it is, it's the flat 3rd of A, and it gives us that bluesy major pentatonic sound. Alright, so we have this for the 3rd measure. And now we're playing over a D chord, and we're gonna play 7, 9 pull off 7 on the 4th string. Then we're gonna play 8 hammer on the 9 on the 5th, so that's the F natural to F sharp, or the flat 3rd to major 3rd of a D chord. So again, Jerry's thinking of which chord he's playing over. And we're playing the 7th fret of the 3rd string, D, the root. Then we're going to do a quick slide from the 9th fret of the 5th string to the 7th fret of the 5th string. Play the 5th fret on the 5th string, that's D, the root. Then 7, 8, 9. Or the 2nd flat 3rd, major 3rd of the D chord. And that measure sounds like this. And those two measures together. And then you put all four of those measures together, and it's kind of a longer call and response. Instead of the 2-bar call and response, you can hear a 4-bar call and response. Alright, so now we're going to play over that same chord progression, A to G 3 times, then to D. And this time, the first phrase sounds like this. Alright, so we're going to play 7, then 9, slide up to 11th on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd. Then we have 11 on the 4th, 9 on the 3rd, 11 on the 3rd, 10 on the 2nd, 11 on the 3rd, then 10, 11, 12 on the 2nd string. So we're going to walk chromatically. We're still playing out of this A major pentatonic shape, but we're going to walk up chromatically to the B, which is the 3rd of the G chord that we're now on. And we have this. Alright, then we're going to break from the A major pentatonic scale, and we're going to play 12th fret on the 3rd string, that's G, and that's the flat 7th of our A chord. So we are in the Mixolydian territory, and that's the key Mixolydian note on an A, our flat 7th. Then we're going to play 11, 10 pull off 9, and 9 again, all on the 3rd string. And then we're going to play 10, hammer on to 11th on the 4th string, so our flat 3rd, major 3rd. Then we have 9th fret on the 3rd, 11th fret on the 4th. Then we're going to play our 10 down to 9, so our C natural to B, 7 on the 4th, 9th fret on the 5th. And that measure sounds like this. Put those two measures together and we have this. Alright, then our next phrase sounds like this. Alright, so again we're doing 7, 9, slide up to 11th on the 4th string, 9 on the 5th, then 11th on the 4th, 9 to 11 on the 3rd, 10 on the 2nd, 9 on the 3rd, 11th on the 4th, 9 on the 4th, then 7th on the 4th, 9 on the 5th. Then over the D chord, we have this. Alright, so that's 7, 9 pull off 7 on the 4th, 9 on the 5th, 7 on the 4th, 9 on the 5th, 7 on the 3rd. And then we're going to play 8 pull off 7 on the 2nd string, 9 on the 3rd, 7 on the 2nd, 9 pull off 7 on the 3rd, 9 on the 4th. Alright, so those two measures together sound like this. Alright, now let's put the first 8 measures together. Alright, then from the E to the F sharp, minor, A to D section, we're going to play this. So we're playing out of the chord shapes. So our first chord shape is E. So 7th fret of the 5th string, then 9, 9, 9 on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. And then if you look at an E7, we have the 7th fret of the 3rd string. So if you make this shape right here, 9th fret on the 4th, 7th fret on the 3rd, 9th fret on the 2nd, we have this E7 chord. So we're going to play 7th fret on the 3rd string, 9 on the 4th, 9 on the 2nd, then slide from 9 on the 4th to 7th on the 4th, 7th fret on the 2nd, and then we have the 5th fret on the 2nd string. So you can think of that as like 6th out of E. And then we have that flat 7. Then we're going to play 6th fret on the 4th string, 5th fret on the 2nd, then 6 slide down to 4th on the 4th string, then 4 on the 4th fret on the 4th string, 2nd fret on the 2nd string, 4th fret on the 4th string. So now that's out of the F sharp minor. And we're going to play an A triad. This is second inversion. So we have 2nd fret on the 4th, 2nd fret on the 3rd, 2nd fret on the 2nd string. And we have 2nd fret on the 4th, 3, hammer on 4 on the 4th string. So we're anticipating that D and we're playing flat 3rd to major 3rd. Then we have the D root, 3rd fret on the 2nd string twice. Then we're going to slide that 4th fret of the 4th string up to the 6th fret, where we go through that chord progression again. So once we slide up to the 6th fret, we play the 5th fret on the 2nd string. So we're holding this E triad. Then we can play the 6th fret on the 4th string again. It's kind of a ghosted note. Then we have 5th fret on the 2nd, 4th fret on the 3rd. Then we're going to play 6th fret on the 4th. Then we're going to slide that up to the 7th fret. So right out of that E shape. Alright, so once we slide up to that 7th fret on the 4th, we play 7 on the 2nd, 6 on the 3rd, 7th on the 4th, 7 on the 2nd, then 6 on the 3rd, 7 on the 2nd, 6 on the 3rd, 7 on the 4th. Then we're playing an A triad. So that's the 5th fret of the 2nd string, 6th fret on the 3rd, 7th fret on the 4th. And then we're going to pull off 7th on the 2nd to 5th on the 2nd. And we play 7th fret on the 4th, 7th fret on the 2nd. So that's outlining our D chord. And then we're going to play this double stop, 5th frets of the 4th and 3rd strings, and slide it up to the 7th frets of the string. Then we're going to play the 7th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string twice, and the second time slide it up to the 9th frets of the 3rd and 2nd string. So we're playing out of this D shape up to this E shape. So now we're playing out of the E chord shape, and then we played the 9th fret on the 2nd, 9th frets of the 3rd and 4th, 9th fret on the 2nd, back to 9th frets on the 3rd and 4th. Then we're going to play 10th fret on the 2nd, then an open 3rd, 9th fret on the 2nd, open 3rd, then 11, pull off 9 on the 3rd string, 11th fret on the 4th. Then for the G, D, A part, we have this. So that's 10th fret on the 2nd, then we're going to hammer from 9 to 11 on the 3rd, 9th fret on the 3rd, then slide from 11 to 9 on the 4th, then 7th fret on the 4th twice, and then we have our vamp. Normally this A to A sus4 vamp is 4 bars long, but this time he only plays it 2 before he goes into the next round of the solo. So we have, and you don't have to be precise on this, it's just A to A sus4. Alright, so the first time around the chord progression, Jerry was playing down lower on the fretboard, and now he takes it up higher for the second time around. And during the late 70s, it was common for him to do this, start low and then go high. Alright, so we're going to slide up into the shape right here. So if we take a look at the A, so again, we're over the A to G 3 times, then the D chord part. So we're going to slide into this chord shape where we're barring the 14th frets of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So we slide into the 14th fret of the 4th string, then we play the 14th frets of the 3rd and 2nd strings at the same time. Then we have the 14th fret on the 4th, 14th fret on the 3rd, 14th fret on the 2nd. And we're going to play the 16th fret on the 3rd string, that's B. So now we're playing over a G chord, and that's the 3rd of a B to the 14th fret of the 3rd string. Then we're going to hammer on 14 to 16 on the 4th string, then 14 on the 3rd. So again, this is out of the A major pentatonic scale, but this time it's up here. But also make sure that you see the A and G chords on the fretboard as well. So we have, then we're going to hammer on 14 to 16 on the 3rd string, then play 14, 16 pull off 14 on the 3rd, then slide from the 16th fret to the 17th fret. So we're going into that C natural, and then the 16th fret on the 3rd, and that should sound like this. Alright, here's the first phrase. The second phrase sounds like this. Alright, so this is over the A, G to D chord. And really cool phrase right here. We have 14, 15 pull off 14 on the 2nd, 16th on the 3rd. Then we're going to walk up chromatically. 14, 15, 16, 17 on the 2nd string. So that's from the major 3rd to the 5th chromatically of an A chord. And then we're going to pull off from 15 to 14 on the 1st string, 17 to 15 on the 2nd, 14 on the 1st, 17 on the 2nd. Then over the D chord we have this. So that's 15 pull off 14 on the 2nd string, 16 on the 3rd, 14 on the 2nd, 16 on the 3rd. Then we're going to play 15 pull off 14 on the 3rd. So that's walking down chromatically. And that's that chromaticism that Jerry's famous for. Then we're going to play 16th on the 4th, 14th on the 3rd, 16th on the 4th, then the flat 3rd. So we have the major 3rd, flat 3rd, slide down to the 14th fret, E, and then we play that again. So it's then we're back to an A chord, and we're going to play this phrase. Again, very cool phrase. So over the A chord, we're going to start with this 6th interval lick, and this is based right out of the A triad. So we're going to play the 14th fret on the 2nd, 14th fret on the 4th, 14 on the 2nd, slide down to the 12th fret on the 2nd, and then play that 12th fret again. Then we're going to play 10 to 11 on the 4th string, so flat 3rd to major 3rd to root, 10th fret on the 2nd. Then we have the 11th fret on the 4th, open 4th, 11th fret on the 4th, slide up to the 12th fret on the 4th, and then the 12th fret on the 2nd. And that 6th interval is right out of this G triad. Then we're going to play 10th fret on the 2nd string, then a muted note, then 10, hammer on 12. Then we're going to bend the 12th fret of the 2nd string up a whole step, play 10, 12, 10 on the 1st. Then we're going to bend that 12th fret on the 2nd string up a whole step, release it, then play the 12th fret on the 2nd string. Those two measures together sound like this. Then for the A to G to D chords, we're going to play this phrase. So that's 10 to 12 on the 2nd string, 10 on the 1st, then slide from 12 to 14 on the 2nd, then 12 to 14 on the 1st. Then we're going to slide 14 down to 12 on the 2nd, 10, 12, pull off 10, then the 11th fret on the 3rd string twice. And then over the D chord, we're going to play out of this D shape. So 12th fret on the 4th, 11th on the 3rd, 10 on the 2nd and 1st strings. So we have 12, 4th, 11th, 3rd, 10th on the 2nd string. Then 12, 11, 10 on the 1st string. Slide from 12 to 14 on the 2nd. Then 12, 13, 14 on the 1st. Then we pull off from the 14th to the 12th fret of the 1st string. All right, let me play those first 8 bars together. It sounds like this. Alright, so we pull off 14 to 12th fret on the 1st string. Now we're playing over the E to F sharp minor, A to D section. And that's going to sound like this. Alright, so after we pull off 14 to 12 on the 1st string, we're going to play the 12th fret again. Then we have the 15th fret on the second string, to 12th fret, then 13 on the third, back to 12 on the second. So it kind of looks like the E minor pentatonic scale, but we're adding that flat 7th D, again making it an E7th sound, kind of like we had down here. So we have 12th fret on the first, 15 to 12 on the second, then we have our major third, 13 on the third, back to 12 on the second. Then we're going to slide from the 14th of the third string to the 16th. Then we have a muted note, then back to the 14th fret. Then we have the 14th fret on the second string, so this we're now playing over an A chord. Well, this note anticipates the A. Then 14 on the third, 14 on the fourth. So that's our A triad. Then we play 14 on the second, 14 on the third. Then we're going to slide from the 15th fret of the fourth to the 16th fret. So we're anticipating that D chord, and we're playing flat third to major third. And here's that D chord, so we have our A to D. So 15 on the second, 14th on the third, 16th on the fourth, back to 15th on the second. Then we're going to slide from the 16th fret of the fourth string to the 18th fret of the fourth string. So now we have this E triad shape. Play the 17th fret of the second, then the 16th fret on the third, back to 17th fret on the second. And so far it sounds like this. Then we're going to play the 17th fret on the fourth string, 14 on the third, 14 on the second, then 16, 15, 14 on the third, 16, 15, 16 on the fourth. So that measure sounds like this. Then we have this phrase. Alright, so over the A chord, we're playing out of this A triad shape, we're playing a sixth interval, the E and the C sharp. So we start with the 14th fret of the fourth, 14 on the second, and then we play the 14th on the fourth again, and we slide down to the 12th. Play the 12th fret on the second string, then we play this D triad shape, and we have 10th fret on the second, 11 on the third, 12 on the fourth, 11th on the third, 10th on the second, 12th on the fourth. Alright, after we have that 14th fret on the fourth string, we have 12 on the second, then 14th fret on the fourth again. Then we're going to play this E sus. So we're adding our pinky to the 14th fret of the third string, and we're going to pull off 14 to 13 on the third string, 14th fret on the fourth twice, then 14 pull off 13 on the third string, 14th on the fourth once, 12 on the second, 13 on the third. It sounds like this. And then over the G, D, A, we have G, D, A. So that's, we're barring the 12th frets of the fourth, third, and second strings. Then we're barring the 7th frets of those same strings, and then the second frets. Alright, so starting from the E to F sharp minor part, we have this with the pickup. right, now the entire second time through the chord progression sounds like this. All right, and that's the second time through the chords from 730-77. All right, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will see you next time.